HuffPost Live is proud to have Cadillac as our founding partner.
You're watching HuffPost Live. I'm Alicia Menendez. They've sold more than 80 million albums worldwide. Here to talk tours, their new album, and the latest on pop music is Jordan, Jonathan, Joey, and Danny. You may also know them as New Kids on the Block. Guys, it is so awesome to have you here. I cannot even tell you how excited I am, how excited our community is. But first, we got to talk breakup rumors. Where's Donnie?
I know, no breakup. He's busy. He's somewhere on this Manhattan Island shooting his show Blue Bloods, so he's sorry he couldn't be here. But.
All right, I'm sorry that he couldn't be here too. So talk to me about 10. What's the music sound like on this album?
Well, I think it's a new sound for us. It's a sound that we haven't totally created yet. It's I would embrace. Thank you. Yeah. I guess overall it kind of has a Euro pop sound. We teamed up with a group of writers and producers called DK Music, great guys from Denmark, and a lot of pop music has been coming out of there actually. But it also has R&B soulful elements that we really identified with. And when you get the five of us on a record, it's kind of cool that after all these years, I guess we do have a bit of a sound, so we kind of make it our own. And yeah, so.
Danny, how would you define that sound?
The sound on this record, I mean, it's basically what Joe said, but we were very lucky because a fan actually, we hired a fan that used to work for Interscope, Amy Nadeau, and she found the first single, Remix, for us, and she worked like A&R for us through the whole process, and she hooked us up with DK Music, and they did the bulk of the record.
You realize now you're going to have fans sending you
I think the cool thing about this record is that kind of like after us, like NSYNC and Backstreet Boys, they always got like great big pop records from like Scandinavian producers or European producers, and we never went that route. We always kind of stayed with, you know, producers from America, and we kind of, even in our last album, we kind of did rhythmic kind of stuff and stayed away from the big pop music, but we went that route this time, and these guys, DK, like they can make incredible, catchy, big pop records, but also make them sound really cool.
Is this
at
stuff
the
we
same
want to
time.
dance to?
Oh yeah.
There's some. There's
up tempos. Yeah, but there's, you know, a good, you know, handful of big ballads that again is kind of from our roots. You know, we started with those ballads back in the day, so it's a good mix of everything. And like we do often, we embrace the past, but we want to keep it fresh and current for us and our fans.
We have a video comment coming in from a big fan of yours, Katie, and her daughter. Let's take a listen.
Hi guys, how's it going? We just wanted to find out from you, what was the hardest song for you to record on your new album?
Jonathan, hardest song.
Hardest.
Is there one y'all just couldn't get together on?
No, I mean, the whole process was pretty easy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it did. I wouldn't. Well, until you're in the booth and trying to get the vocal, and you're trying to hit these notes that are like, you know, you think your eyeballs are gonna, you know.
Does it get harder to hit those notes?
No, it actually gets. I mean, well, challenging yourself expands. You know, it expands your range, I guess. But you know, as having five guys in the group, you know, I guess the difficulties or the challenges are finding who's going to fit right for which part. And sometimes you don't like a song. I mean, there's a couple of songs that initially I did not like, and then I'm like, all right, I'll get on it, and then I love it, you know. And you kind of, which is another thing, you know, you change your mind, you try to keep an open mind and open heart about the music, and I think the results of that, you get a great album.
We have a community member who actually has a question about that. This is from Maria, who says, who decides what goes on to the actual album and what ends up as a bonus track?
Well, I think it's a lot of the time. A lot of records you have to give them a chance, and you go in and you record them and listen to them. Some of them you'll end up liking, some of them you'll end up hating. But a lot of it is just doing the songs, and listening to them, and getting a feel for how they are.
Yeah, are there people you guys haven't collaborated with yet that you'd like to collaborate with? A dream collaboration?
Well, I don't know. I think a lot of
I
times.
know you got 5 people
Well,
going on.
there's
already.
always like, oh, we'd love to work with Prince, of course, and people like that. But it's always the people that are most enthused. That's who we like to work with. Talented people that are enthused to be working with us on a project. You can have a wish list of producers, but when you start out with a record, and then by the time you finish, that whole list is different.
Right. This album has gotten really great reviews, and I know that you want to say critics don't matter and the fans matter, right? I mean, the fans are the ones who keep you in business.
For sure.
Well, it's good if you can do both. I think we've been in the business long enough to give the critics a little credit. They love music, and I think we're just at a different place in our careers. But I think you got to make yourself happy first, then the fans, and then everything else is gravy.
I think the fans are the best critics, though. Like they'll keep it real with us, and they're like a lot of people think, well, your fans are gonna like anything. No, that's not the case. They're just as cool as other people.
Yeah, well, we have a lot of fans who want to ask you questions. This next question comes from Kelly.
Hi, I'm Kelly from Cleveland. I have been listening to the album on repeat nonstop since I got it. I love it. Thank you. My question is, how did the vibe in the recording studio differ while recording 10 versus the block? Thanks.
Wow.
It was more cramped.
Like, literally?
Literally. We recorded the whole album in one room, one small room in a studio in North Hollywood. I don't know.
Well, I think the vibe was different in that we worked with DK Music. That was, they were all pretty much in-house. So I think this album, the flow, it was easier. The day-to-day was easier. We weren't getting on planes going down to Atlanta, having to go to LA, New York. Like we were just based in LA, and we'd all fly in for the weekends, and it was just a really smooth process, and we just knocked it out of the field,
Yeah, absolutely. I wonder, you were kids. I mean, it was called the New Kids on the Block. And so there has to be a growth in maturity that's happened. I mean, that has to
Hope so.
that has to have changed the vibe in the recording studio when you go on tour, everything.
Yeah, of course. I mean, with life experiences comes maturity, and we were young teenagers just finding our way in the world, and even at the height of our career, we were young men still not experiencing a lot of things that kids our age were going through college and things like that. So now, for me, and I think for I can speak for all the guys, just growing up, we can approach our business in a mature way, and respect and relate to each other on a different level.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to take this comment from NKOTB fan 35 who says, "Which song would you like to be your next video?"
That's a tough one, man.
Single, yeah.
Yeah, we're really proud of the album, so I think we'll wait, and probably as the tour goes on, maybe we'll see the fan reaction to certain songs we perform, and maybe that will help us make a decision. But it would probably be between 3 or 4 different songs that we all really like.
So now, in addition to the album, I also know there is a deluxe album. I will be stealing this one for myself.
Oh, yeah.
So this one, what makes this one special aside from this
Fancy.
shiny packaging?
Well, see that green in the O?
Yes.
That's a piece of the banner that was hanging on the Green Monster in Fenway Park.
Cool.
And that was hanging there while we did a concert there with the Backstreet Boys. It was we never performed at Fenway Park, and we're from Boston, so it just meant a lot to us. Not many groups perform at Fenway Park.
Yeah, nobody threw anything at you.
We
Yeah,
have
there's more to- there's more to the box than just that.
But there's a DVD from that show. There's a very essential coffee mug coasters with each
I'm in.
new kid on them.
Done.
I mean, there's a little bit of everything. There's a little bit of fun in there, and there's a little bit of stuff that means a lot to us. And
Yeah, and there's a 50-page photo book in there from all stuff we've done recently, and it's exclusive. You can only get it at our website, which is nkotb.com/10.
thank you, Danny.
Yeah, you were going to get extra points from your publicist. Steph by Steph wants to know, I'm a 14-year-old, and here's my question. According to you guys, that you have pretty much enough experience already, what would you say is the key to success for a boy band? Sending love from Mexico.
Well, first of all, kudos for the pun. The new kid, step by step, Steph by Steph.
Gonna get to you, girl.
I like that. Nice. Success for a boy band. I mean, well, early on,
This is sort of a man band at this
hang
point.
on. Yeah, I mean, early on, I think as kids, just like fasten your seatbelt and hope you survive the ride.
And then go away for 15
yeah, 15 years. Take a 15-year break.
And then come back.
And then come back. And, you know, we're grateful. I think what we've been able to do coming back is kind of unheard of, especially in the boy band realm, because everyone, you know, the story with boy bands is that, you know, here today, gone tomorrow, you have a shelf life and all that jazz. But we're lucky. We're having a great time. And you know, as lucky as I think we work hard and we really care about what we do. We really care about our fans, and we keep that connection like it's almost family. And I think that's important. So.
Yeah, no, that is important, and I know that we have another video question coming in from Caitlin. Let's take a listen.
Hi guys, I'm Caitlin. I'm a huge fan. My very first concert was a New Kids on the Block concert, and I was 5. And it was a little loud, and I cried and made everyone leave. And I swear to this day, my cousin has never forgiven me for only making it to halfway through your concert.
So here's the story. I don't remember how old we were. I don't know, maybe Caitlin was 5, I was 8, whatever. That's not the point. So we go to the New Kids on the Block concert. We were so excited. We go, we buy t-shirts, we get in there, we watch the opening act. And then about 3 minutes after you guys came on, I look over to share the moment with my cousin, my best friend, and her head is in her hand. She's crying. She's so upset. And her stepmom says we have to leave. So don't let her tell you that we didn't even make it to the end. We didn't make it to the middle. We didn't make it through the first song.
So can you let me know if you guys are going to tour again so maybe I could make it up to her?
I think you are in luck, Caitlin. Tell me about this package tour.
It's us, Boys to Men, and 98 Degrees.
My producer made a joke that that's a lot of packages.
Well, that's hence the
One
name.
big package.
Yeah, that's the name.
A
So
whole lot of packages.
We're very excited. I mean, Boys to Men, I mean, their legacy and what they've done and their hits are just, you know, second to none, really. And they did a little guest surprise visit on the tour we did, Backstreet Boys, and the crowd just went nuts for obvious reasons. But we really said we got to do this again, and our schedules worked out. And then 98 Degrees came back together, you know, for the first time in 10 years, and we thought that would be a great addition to the tour as well. So we're very, very excited about it. The reaction's been great, and we're just excited to make another awesome tour.
Lots of questions about the tour. This is from ABS, who says, how many songs from 10 will you be performing on the tour? Will there be a mix of songs from the new album and the older songs we love? I'll Be Loving You Forever, The Right Stuff.
the older songs will always do them, because people, you know, you can't put on a New Kids show.
Gotta play the hits.
Yeah, you gotta play the hits. You can't eliminate a song just because we made a new record. So we got to squeeze the other stuff in.
Some of them make you want to like shoot yourself in the face.
No, not performing.
Not when 15,000 people are singing along with you. You can deal with it.
I want to bring up this one from Deb, who says, and we'll do this by a show of hands, who of the 5 cried when the fans presented NKOTB with the Billboard ad on Saturday night?
I got misty.
I know
I definitely got verklempt.
I got a little emotional.
You should all just point fingers at Donnie since he's not here. This one's from Miss Delight 76, who says 25 years between your first and your latest visit yesterday to the Apollo Theater. Any thoughts, feelings, memories you want to share?
More tears.
Now that was very emotional for
Yeah.
all of us. I could really tell. It was like it was heavy in there, and Wow.
There was a guy that worked there when we first performed there, 25 years ago, and he was talking to us and he said, "Welcome home."
Yeah.
And that got to me like that. It's us performing there and being able to do well there was very significant in our careers.
It brought back a lot of memories for me of like how passionate we were and how into it and how hard we worked, even as 14 and 15 and 16-year-olds. It's like we had so much love for what we did, and it paid off on that stage, and that's what I felt yesterday.
That's awesome. I want to bring this up from KT Summer, who says, you've done Fenway, Radio City, 6 albums, and soon to be 5 cruises. What's left on your NKOTB bucket list?
We're going to space.
Yeah.
Listen, some of them things weren't even on the bucket list, you know what I mean? When we were broken up for 15 years, I mean, I never thought my kids would get to see us perform again. So I don't really know what's next on the bucket list. We just kind of want to focus on this album and doing a great tour, and we'll see what comes after that.
I have one more question here I want to give you guys. It's from Lizzie, who says, have you guys ever considered recording an album in Spanish for your Spanish-speaking fans?
Jordan?
Wow.
Yeah, does anybody here habla español?
I did do one. Yeah, I've kind of done a couple of things. I mean, yeah. And then when we were down in like South America and stuff, we try to sing that way. And Donnie.
What do you mean you try to sing that way?
In Spanish.
Oh, we try.
Like sing in English with a Latino accent?
Sing in Spanish is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And it's
an idea that we've definitely thought about and have done.
I think
on
it's
singles, but not on.
I think it's best to leave that to Ricky Martin and Shakira. That's their market. They're the pros. So.
All right. Well, it has been so fun having you guys in the studio with us. Thank you, Jonathan, Danny, Joey, Jordan.
Thank you.
I will miss Donnie. Send him my best. This is HuffPost Live. The conversation continues here.